For more on this, let's cross to Dave Keating, our correspondent in Brussels. Dave, it's great to have you with us. We're all a little bit confused here. What does all this mean?
Well, what's weird is that journalists have been asking the UK government to make its contract with AstraZeneca public for weeks because it's very material in the dispute between AstraZeneca and the EU. The UK government has been refusing to do so, but today it turned out that a redacted version of that contract has been online all along in the recesses of a database. And what we can see here, the most interesting thing we can see in this contract, is that it's dated August 28th. That's only one day after that AstraZeneca signed its contract with the European Union. And that appears to contradict what AstraZeneca's CEO said in a newspaper interview last month when he said that it was only fair for the UK to get priority access to AstraZeneca vaccines because the UK signed its contract with the company 3 months earlier than the EU. So this signature date seems to contradict that. As well, we can see in this contract that it contains the same best endeavors language that the CEO was using as a reason for why AstraZeneca wouldn't be able to meet its delivery promises to the EU and why that wasn't a contract violation. This dispute all flared up last month when AstraZeneca told EU countries that they would only be able to deliver a quarter of what they initially promised, and the Commission says that the doses that were supposed to go to the EU actually went to the UK. Now, of course, this contract wasn't the first interaction that AstraZeneca had with the UK government. Back in May, Oxford University, which developed the vaccine, was essentially forced to partner with AstraZeneca, even though they were initially in talks with an American company, because the UK government wanted to make sure that a British-based company had that contract. And so it could be that in that contract between AstraZeneca and Oxford, that there was some kind of suggestion that the UK should get first doses. But that's not what the CEO said. And in any event, the EU actually published its contract in late January, and it showed that AstraZeneca, there's a clause in there where AstraZeneca says that it hadn't engaged in any previous commitments that would make it unable to meet its commitment to the EU. Also, the EU contract says that the 4 facilities that make AstraZeneca, 2 in the UK, 2 in the EU, would all be used to deliver to the EU, which seems to contradict the AstraZeneca CEO statement that there were 2 different supply chains always envisaged. So this is only going to deeper entrench the conflict between the EU and AstraZeneca, which is already very, very tense.
That's a thing, Dave. You've just been speaking about the controversies surrounding this contract, but there's also there are questions about the vaccine itself. A number of countries across the bloc refusing to give this vaccine to over 65-year-olds, among them here in France and even Germany.
Yeah, this is a whole separate issue, which actually could render this whole conflict about the delivery schedule academic, because European countries are behaving in a very skeptical way toward the AstraZeneca vaccine now. We've had several countries say they will not give it to people over 65 because they feel that the AstraZeneca hasn't provided enough data on the efficacy for that group. That includes France and Germany. And we're also hearing more and more reports of people under 65 actually refusing to take the vaccine because of all the negative press that this vaccine has encountered. And this is exactly what EU leaders were very, very worried about. This continent is the heart of vaccine skepticism globally. And they're very worried about contagion here, that this public mood about AstraZeneca could spread to all of the vaccines. So we're seeing a kind of souring, especially in the Commission, about the AstraZeneca vaccine, which originally was supposed to be the heart of the EU's vaccination strategy in its first weeks. Yesterday, we got an announcement that the Commission is buying millions more doses from Pfizer and Moderna. Those are the other 2 approved vaccines in the EU. And Johnson & Johnson has submitted its application. The EMA is going to try to approve that quickly within the next couple of weeks. No announcement whatsoever about new purchases with AstraZeneca. And yesterday, when Commission President von der Leyen was asked about this, she noted that the Commission has good relationships with most pharmaceutical companies. It's obvious which ones she's leaving off that list. So relations are really, really bad. And it will be interesting to see how these revelations about the UK contract affect EU thinking.
So we have contractual complications, skepticism. No wonder that this vaccination drive in the bloc has been so hampered. Thank you so much for that update, Dave Keating.